aquatic creatures, including giant aquatic creatures, were created by God on the fifth day. If giant aquatic creatures exist as physical things, they would have been created on the fifth day. And they would have not needed to be on the ark because they swim. So aquatic creatures would not need to be accounted for by way of Noah's rescue, just by being creatures that lived in water when the flood came. I want to combine both Nessie and other sea creatures with the bloop for the purpose of this video. The bloop is a noise that may or may not indicate the existence of a mega creature. Many years ago, by use of microphones underwater, a huge booming ultra low pitch sound was heard that was hypothesized to equate with a creature bigger than anyone had ever seen. And it has since been perhaps debunked by people that think it matches the sound of calving of icebergs. That is, big splitting of icebergs that creates a big underwater boom and a shock wave, like a little water quake. Now, I want to go with the cryptozoological possibility that the bloop is a living thing, because that interests me. And this is the realm of hypothesis, and whether hypothesis is founded in reasonable biblical logic. Okay? That's all we're doing. Proving nothing, disproving nothing. We are creating a flat ground for whether or not something is possible, probable, and what conditions it might be possible or probable. In the Bible, we're taught about a creature called Leviathan, who is a giant water creature, far bigger than anything we've ever seen. It's not Nessie is not Leviathan. Caddy is not Leviathan. Champ is not Leviathan. Leviathan is big. So Job is described as an unfishable ocean beast. You know, there's no hook a man could make that could hook this quote-unquote fish. Even though it sounds much more dragony, because, well, it could just be a giant fish. Nonetheless, Leviathan in Psalms is described as multi-headed, like a hydra, or, let's say hydra, or a multi-headed dragon, like a Tiamat. And it describes the ocean as his playground, meaning it's so big it can rampage the whole place and nothing gets in its way and nothing is a danger to it. It can roam the entirety of the ocean unseen and unthreatened by anything. Whatever you think is an animal threat, it doesn't faze it. Great white, the possible existence of a living megalodon, not a concern. We're told in Isaiah that the Lord will slay him. And it describes him as a fire-breathing sea dragon. Now, if Leviathan is a physical sea creature that was made on the fifth day, it could have a long hibernation period and eat large amounts infrequently. Because, yes, the fact that nothing being that big and nothing has ever seen it creates the need for an explanation. Doesn't disprove it, creates the need for a strong explanation. If the Leviathan is a truly supernatural beast, like a demon, creating physical form as it needs to, the way that the fallen angels created DNA as they needed to, as their goals matched, it can be in stasis until the end of the world, where it's going to be slain, going to be fed to the saints. I want to present to you that the bloop is probably, of all evidence for physical, observable data about Leviathan, it is the greatest. There are stories of bigger things in mythology, which, once again, mythology is truth as people saw it, and in mythology is the hopes and fears of the people at the time. It is not 100% fact. It is not 100% false, because what people saw and described is how they saw it. And data about what people hoped and feared is not falsehood, is not wasteful information. Every piece of mythology contains a sort of interpretive truth, like a dance instead of a news article. If the data is in there, or a song instead of a news article, the data is in there being presented differently. So, presenting you the possibility that any sea serpent we see is a fifth day creation, created by God, currently concealing itself for reasons I described earlier in previous videos about smart animals knowing how to avoid human scrutiny. And then secondly, that the bloop has the possibility of being Leviathan. That Leviathan could be exactly where that sound was created, or even moving around and was there the day that was recorded. If it is in a form of stasis, so it doesn't have to eat all the time, because eating all the time would create more opportunity to be seen. That could have been merely a sleep noise of something so huge that we can't really fathom it until we see it. If I have blessed you, encouraged you, or equipped you in any fashion, please like, subscribe, and comment. And tell me your favorite cryptid. And as always, pray more, complain less.